Right, boys, today we are reacting to a lady who married a ghost, divorced a ghost, I guess. Don't really know how any of that's possible, but I guess we're going to find out today. Someone sent me this, I guess we're just going to see.
Basically, it had never been done in the UK and Ireland before.
To marry a ghost?
To marry posthumously, I suppose, is the legal term for it.
Someone who's dead and gone.
Someone who's dead, exactly. So by doing that, we got a legal registrar to marry us, not a captain of a ship, somebody that could actually perform a marriage, to do it in international waters, which was technically
I wonder if there's any legality to that, you know, like if that's actually like a real thing, like... would she get the tax benefits? Because I know there's I don't really know, but I know there's supposed to be tax benefits to getting married and stuff. I wonder if she got those. I wonder if this was in any way actually recognised or not.
One who had got married for her.
So, hubby was called Jack.
He was, yes.
Jack, as I understand it, was a man of the sea as well.
Yes, he was a pirate, yes.
A pirate.
Yes.
So...
I mean, they are trying so... Oh, what... God bless Eamon and Ruth. I mean, they are trying real hard to not just crack up laughing. Like, this has got to be one of the hardest jobs in the world. To sit there while people confidently tell you they're married to a pirate ghost and not just laugh directly in their face it's incredible. I couldn't. There's no way. I would just be, you silly bitch. I couldn't do it. There's no way.
Did he fit the bill of what we all know from the films and novels, things of a pirate, I, me, hearty and all that? And
no, that's all very much stereotypical. I mean, he actually spoke very good English, quite well spoken, very much kind of a gentleman's English of the time.
That's interesting. Don't think pirates spoke English, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure pirates were like Caribbean and stuff. They spoke like African languages. Like I don't think they spoke English, especially proper gentleman's English of the time. I'm pretty sure. Interesting.
Did he come into your life?
how did you meet?
Well, I had started on the road of spirituality in 2010 after my son died.
Okay, there it is. All right. I mean, there's always something, right? You know, when people believe these kind of things, there's always usually like a tragedy behind it or something. So this is obviously very sad. Like, you can tell, obviously that has hit her very hard, which has led to this. Okay, that kind of makes sense. It's sad. I mean, obviously, it's still hilarious that she believes this, but it is sad how this has obviously come around, because a lot of people do have this, right? They have unbelievable tragedies, so they go down rabbit holes, and they end up in weird places. You know, it kind of makes you wonder whether they should really be interviewing this lady. You know, like, is she really... Clearly she believes it, and she doesn't look to be completely mental. She looks like, well, those eyebrows are struggling, bruv. So I don't know. Like, you know, she's clearly well enough to get herself here in a condition to be here, but also maybe they shouldn't be, like, fueling this delusion, you know, being on the show. But also I do get it. They must have processes of like mental health checks that they have to go through to get on the show. I'm sure it's not as simple as, you know, I shagged a ghost and now I'm on TV. I'm sure it's not that easy.
I was kind of agnostic. After my son died, I really wanted to know what was out there, and obviously I discovered spirituality, and it gave me a link to the other side. It started to give me evidence that there was something else, you know, beyond this realm.
Those truly are the maddest eyebrows of all time, because they're painted on, which what makes them interesting. Like, you've chosen that shape. That shape was a choice. Like, you've architected that yourself. It's quite impressive.
Workshops and courses or whatever in it that I was actually really, really good at it.
Well,
so...
see, this amazes me. A lot of people go in search of all of this and this spiritualism, this mysticism, whatever. Now, you reached across to the other side, and then basically you got there. Someone reached back to you.
Absolutely.
To the extent that it felt physical.
Yes, well, I mean, you can feel spirit energy. If you even go into a haunted building, you get that shiver up your spine. That's
You know, it sounds a bit like psychosis. You know, if you were really feeling this shit and you were really experiencing this, sounds like you were going through a pretty crazy mental health collapse crisis. It's what it sounds like. Now, like she's saying there, she's saying, you know, you feel the shiver up your spine when you go into a haunted building. That's not because of the ghosts. You feel the shiver up your spine because you're in a dark building that's abandoned and you don't really know who could be. It's just I don't believe in that stuff at all, right? But me and my friends would occasionally do stupid shit like go into abandoned warehouses and stuff at night. And yeah, you would always feel like, oh shit, right? And some of my friends thought it was because of ghosts, but I thought it was because, oh, there could be a homeless person living in here who wants to shank me, right? So, you know, you feel it. The reason you're feeling it, you know, I get, yes, you do feel that stuff, but there's a reason. It's because you're in an abandoned building at night. That's why you feel those things. Not just because there's some mystical, but, you know, some people believe this stuff. So, you know, if you believe it, you believe it. Good for you, but come on.
Feeling like spirit touch their face or hold their hand or whatever. So, I mean, you can feel energy, you know, the same as the wind is energy. You can feel that.
Were you feeling energy or were you seeing a physical form of this man, Jack?
No, I never.
Now, that is a trustworthy woman. You know, she married the guy without even seeing him. I mean, imagine if he, you know, showed his face one day and he was just an ugly bastard. I mean, that would be quite the shock. I mean, that is some serious trust and respect.
Frightened, obviously. You felt this was a good energy. How did that turn into a romantic feeling, so much so to the point where you wanted to marry this ghost?
That is a good point. Like, how do you determine what the good ones and the bad ones are? Like, obviously, I've never felt this because I'm not crazy, but, like, how would you determine the good from the bad? Right, because there's the evil spirits, right? And then there's the good ones. How would you even know which one you're encountering? You know, I don't know. I've never heard anyone ever explain that. You know, I've seen people talk about this shit before, but they never really, you know, oh, this was a good one and this was about. How do you know? Oh, I could just tell. It's all up here. I could just tell.
You know, presented himself, and it was several months before I really actually believed he was who he said he was. Because it's very hard to verify if a spirit is telling you.
Wonder how he presented himself. How would I present myself if I was a ghost? I think I'd do the old bathrobe, you know, on top of a piano number. I think I'd hit one of those. Presented him. Come on. What? Come on. I don't want to bully her. I feel like I'm bullying her, but I don't want to bully her because she's not well. But is she well? Oh, let me just carry on. Maybe she has some evidence.
You know, eventually, when I did start to believe him, several months into the communication, we just started to talk a lot because I was very interested in that period.
So I ring your doorbell and I say, hello, Amanda. You open the door and you say, hold on, I'm talking to Jack here. Where's Jack? Right. You must be at work or you must be people at home and you're having a conversation and this guy's around you. There has to be a time and a place in it. And I suppose I just better get to the nitty gritty because there'll be a lot of people watching and they're saying, this woman is mad. And
yes, we are very much, definitely.
That to you, and they say, look, why are we even doing this interview? You're saying you're talking to dead people and dead people are talking back to you. What would you say to those people?
I would say that a lot of these people go to mediums and get their tarot cards read. So if you believe you can contact somebody who's dead 10 years, why do you think it's so difficult to speak to somebody that's dead 300 years? I mean, people...
On a real note, you know, that whole medium tarot thing, you know, I know people who do all that shit, and obviously I don't believe it, and I've watched people who I know get, like, these mystical readings from these people right in front of me, and to me, it's so obvious what they're doing, right? Like, it's... When I sat there and I listened to it, it was my mum, right? I was watching her do it and I was just like, wow, like, it's so obvious what they're doing. They're just saying very vague things, and then you're sat there going, oh, where does this possibly fit into my life? Like, is there a point where this fits for me? And you will always find it. And that's what my mum did, right? She, everything they said to her, she would get the information, and then she would rack her entire brain for any possible connection whatsoever it could possibly have at her life at any point. And I was watching that being like, what do you, like, after she finished, I was like, what was that about? Like, why did you do that? And then she didn't even realize she had done it. Like, these people, I guess when you're talking to them, it's quite, they have a way of speaking, they don't really, it's not obvious what they're doing. I guess if you're the one speaking to them, I was like, every single thing they said, you found like a small connection that had nothing to do with anything, that would never be connected to you in any way, and you were trying to find anything because you want to believe it, right? If you're indifferent, or you don't really want to believe it, these people are useless, man. Like they don't do anything. Like, it's, I'm thinking of a person who, a P. Though there's a P name. It's like, who doesn't have someone in their entire existence of some level, right? And most of the people who go to these people are 50-year-old single women, right? I mean, that's most of the clientele, right? At some point in their life, they're going to have known someone whose name fucking began with a P that they connect somewhere in the line. So I think sometimes those people, and there's the argument, right? Are those people helping these people who have lost people and stuff, like, get some closure, or are they just ripping them off? There's really no way to know, right? There's no good way to know, because each individual person will tell you something different. Because some people, single mums who just don't have anything, running up hundreds of pounds worth of bills on these call sites with these fake people who don't really know what they're doing, and getting nothing out of it. And they'll, literally not be able to pay rent, not, really put themselves in bad positions to do these readings and to do these spiritual things. And then there's other people who are like, yeah, I spent the hundreds of pounds, yeah, I couldn't pay my rent, but it made me feel better about the fact that my kid died. And I guess in that way, I guess it's good, because then the alternative to that is they had to deal with, it's a tricky one.
She's there in the case of, of pagan faiths. So, I mean, you either believe that there's another realm or you don't. You either believe that they can hear you or you don't.
And you said you got so close and romantically involved with this being, a ghost, whatever people like to call it, that you also believed that it was like a sexual, physical relationship as well, that you could feel.
Well, I suppose I'd use the term intimate rather than physical. I've always really struggled with my sexuality from a young age, and I would identify as being on the asexual spectrum. So the physical body, in a sense, isn't really important. It's more about the...
Ghost shagging porn might be the greatest thing ever. Never seen it, don't know if it really exists, but the idea, now that's $1 billion idea, right? I mean, as a comedy act, that would be just magical, right? I mean, the ghost step bro, I'm stuck in the thing, but there's no one, I mean, come on. I mean, this is genius, I'll admit. I mean, you could sell a good OnlyFans with that shit. But that would just be so funny to watch. I mean, okay, I'm going to stop. But it would be hilarious.
Made you tingle, basically.
Yeah, there was that connection there.
Nutty. All of you watching this, you haramis.
Eamon knows what he's doing there. I mean, he's just trying to make Ruth laugh at this point. I mean, he made you tingle, did he? Oh, brother. Okay, now let's just get this. Okay.
I feel almost like a weight of a body on you,
yes.
Which is an energy, because obviously the physical body is not there, but you felt that was an intimate feeling.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
She's making this shit up as she goes. Anything they say, that she's like, yes, that was part of it too. That was part of it too. Like, you just said that it wasn't physical, and now you're saying that it... Make your mind up.
Bad.
The first time that I really noticed anything that was wrong was a couple of months after we got married. And things happen, you can't blame everything on the paranormal. But I also knew about spirited.
I think that's kind of the best thing about being in a relationship with a ghost. You can blame everything on them because they don't fucking exist. No one knows. You can be like, yeah, this bastard, man. He fucking... You know what he did? He was talking to Lucinda on the fucking Ender Realms, right? Can you believe that shit? You just make shit up. You're already making the whole thing up anyway. I mean, why not? Why can't you just blame it all on them?
So I did ask some people, you know, are you sure that this guy is a good spirit? And everybody told me it was fine. But this went on for almost 2 years. My health just kept getting worse and worse and worse, to the point that I ended up with sepsis last year in June. And I almost died. I had to have emergency
And the analysis
surgery.
given to you why this would happen was that Jack was doing what? Why was he a bad influence then?
He was basically like an energy vampire. So really when we...
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
When we die, it's normal to stay in the earthbound realm for a period of time, but then we're meant to cross over and go on and reincarnate or go to another realm or do whatever we're meant to do in our life's path. So when spirits stay around too long, they need an energy source, and unfortunately, Jack was using me as an energy
He was
source.
kind of bleeding you dry of your energy,
He was trying
making
to...
you ill.
He had never accepted his own death, so he wanted to continue living.
Imagine even getting fucked over by your imaginary husband. What? You made this whole thing up, and you still lost. You could have said he was like a millionaire, the greatest guy. You could make it all up, and you chose to lose. Why would you choose to? When I'm in my bathroom shadowboxing, I'm imagining I'm winning the titles. I'm the world champion. I'm not losing. Although sometimes I do get knocked down and then get back up again and then fucking, you know. But you could have just made yourself win this whole thing. And instead you decided, yeah, no, the guy was a bastard. He tricked me. Why? Mental illness. That's why. Never mind. Carry on.
Yes, so he was trying to come over from the other side and take you over, basically, and live
Pretty
through you.
much, and live through me,
So
yeah.
does Jack understand? He's been hanging around, he's been knocking around in the other world or the afterlife or whatever it is for 300 years. Does he understand things of the modern world, like cars and the internet and all that sort of thing?
Yeah,
He wasn't very fucking good if he couldn't get it done in 2 years. I'd like to think if I was a spirit trying to take over someone's body, I would... You know what I'd do it. I wouldn't fucking hang around for a couple of years waiting for you to get an exorcist. I'd just fucking take that shit straight away. Get you.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck.
You know, like what? He's not very good at his job, this guy.
people before me, you know, that there was 2 other people at least before
Was
me.
he married before you?
No, not married.
So
no.
Amy
I
said it
took
went...
Was he married before? Yeah. I love these interviewers. You know, they know she's a batshit crazy bitch, and they're just like, you know, they're poking the bear a bit. They're not being too rude, because obviously you can't be too rude, because she might have a fucking mental breakdown and kill everyone in the studio, because she's clearly fucking nuts. But they're just, I love these two. I think they broke up now. Sad. They're husband and wife, those two. Sad.
believe he tried to kill you, and how have you separated from
Exorcism.
Oh, I literally just cottoned on to the fact he's a pirate called Jack. As in Jack Sparrow. Anyway, that was even why I stopped the vid. Bro tried to murk her. Even your imaginary husbands are trying to dead you off. What the fuck does that say? I mean, Jesus, I'm just saying. But Jack's really Captain Jack of the Seven Seas. Come on, you couldn't have thought of a different name. Bartholomew, Theodore, something.
A lot of red flags, and in the end, after the operation, I realised that it definitely was him, and it took me a while to figure out whether he knew or not that it was definitely, you know, him that was doing it, and did he intend to mean, you know, to harm me? So when I realised that he did, yes, I ended up having an exorcism in December of last year.
Now, just finally, Amanda, and we're glad it's turned out well for you and whatever, and this is all very real to you. When you look at your wedding pictures and whatever, do you feel a bit silly about this now?
I have long existing health problems that are never going to go away, although since the exorcism, my health has dramatically improved.
And they're not mental health problems?
No, I have no mental health problems. Do
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
I don't, because it's given me a lot of lessons. It's given me a lot of opportunity.
Okay, we're going to end it there. Okay, let's review. Captain Jack. I can't believe it took me the entire video to connect the Jack and the pirate thing, but I did. That would have been embarrassing if I'd have missed that the whole time. Let's review. Son dies. Terrible, horrible, sad, right? She's batshit crazy on top of that. She gets a little bit of comfort from this. What do you even really say? I mean, you know, you feel bad for her at the end of the day. You gotta feel bad for her. I don't really know why they would have her on. I wonder if the interviewers like this or they hate this. They're like, I wanted to be a fucking journalist and I'm interviewing a bitch who thinks she fucking... a crazy bitch who thinks she's fucking married a ghost. I mean, this has got to be a little bit tough for them. A, not to laugh. B, to, like, have to take this seriously in any way. But, you know, I guess let her do what she wants. I mean, it's funny. It's whatever. You know, I'm only reacting to this. Hey, this is... she wanted to go on the show. She wanted to... so I'm fine reacting to it, but let me know what you think.